Oh, no worries. How you doing, Mr. Remote? Just checking the radar real quick. Just passing right through. Oof. Some good stuff coming though. Yeah, looks like it's mostly gonna miss us. Hey, Eggsy. I'm all right. Ended up not getting the check engine light fixed because it's gonna cost $2,000. I'm gonna grab something to eat. I'm so hungry. I gotta go out to Green Springs. I didn't get a car wash on the way here because it's gonna dump. I'm getting some stringer assignments, but there's no actual thunderstorms.
Invest.com.
Canceled a bunch of subscriptions that I have for TV channels and whatnot. So what do we got up here? What kind of good food? And Wendy's and Marshall's. What do we got? What do we got? Let's get some Arby's.
What's going on, baby? How are you? That's my buddy Joe Pags.
We'll figure it out when we head out there. But I need something now, so I'll hit one of these places along here.
He said he didn't, Biden was the best guy on the planet. Trump had the best 100 days. Biden had the worst 4 years, and he said he never met him. But wait a minute, he campaigned for him. And then you got all these judges going for all this crazy crap with the illegals. John, we can go on and talk about how dirty rats these people are and how they just let the country down. Thank God for Donald Trump. That man is a godsend, man. And the good Lord knew we needed him like a bad habit because of the fact that what Democrats did to this country, the 4 years Biden was in there, the media just skipped it right out of under the bus. I'll put it this way. The media didn't take the banana out of the tailpipe. I'm being nice.
The media didn't take the banana out of the tailpipe, and you're being nice. That's one way to put it. You are a wordsmith, big time, no doubt about it. But listen, I don't think what he's done, more importantly, and we have his greatest visible success on the borders, obviously, and securing them, and the deportation orders that keep going out.
was thinking about odd fodder, but it's too expensive. We'll just get some Arby's.
Economic success. I do believe we'll get to the issue of free and fair trade. He's been willing to take on that issue that no other president's been willing to take on for 50 or 60 years. I do believe.
This is Perrysburg, Ohio. That's where the dealership is. Where I actually live is not so busy, but it's only about a half hour away from here. Yeah, this is kind of a bigger town. A lot of money. Yeah, so anyway, they wanted they're telling me I need a new catalytic converter. So I'm like, probably not gonna happen. It's okay. I'm still trying to decide. I'm gonna go with the classic beef and cheddar. Can I get a jalapeno bites with that? 8. Coke. Nope. All right. Thank you. Bow just went live.
Please call the IFCJ today, 888-488-IFCJ, 888-488-IFCJ. Online, it's one word, supportifcj.org. That's supportifcj.org today.
I had the worst dream last night. We were in a car crash, and the kids and I were on our own. We had to move out of the house because I couldn't afford it anymore.
That's awful, hon.
My brother got life insurance from Ethos, and it only took 10 minutes. And he got $2 million in coverage for around $2 a day. It's all online. No medical exam. He just answered a few health questions right from his house.
Ethos, here we go.
Visit ethos.com/free. Ethos.com/free.
Celebrate a 10-year term life policy for 35-year-old healthy non-smoking male Bill Murphy. Americans love using their credit cards. The most secure and hassle-free way to pay. But DC politicians want to change that with the Durbin-Marshall credit card bill. This bill lets
I'm not sure I can do this. This got a so there's 2 codes. My check engine light came on, and it's because of 2 codes. They said one of them is a clog converter, which to me a clog converter means that you have no exhaust. So I have exhaust. The other one is for the failure on the turbo because of the cloud converter. So they said they won't even. And what's funny is that the turbo is covered on an extended warranty on those turbos because they did have an issue with them. So I'm not a very good mechanic on these newer vehicles. Everything. So ended up being just an oil change. Very expensive oil change because the diagnostic fee.
Wonderful moms in your life. So Rich Decadent Brownie from Vermont
Yeah,
Brownie Company.
sorry.
Shanowitzki, founder of Vermont Brownie Company. When I started 10 years ago, I had one goal in mind: to make the best brownies around using the freshest ingredients. Today,
It's not taking this card. Do you have another one you can try?
There's plenty of stuff there. I just used it to make a payment over at the dealership for service. I mean, I do, but
It's not. It's saying that it's already running or something. It's not, I don't know what's going on with that.
one thing it's another.
I don't know what was going on with that.
Can I get some horsey sauce and some Arby's sauce?
Our system's a little weird sometimes.
Thank you. Yeah. Bitching don't help much sometimes, though. I'll eat the sandwich when I get there.
Over 36%. And if your manufacturer's warranty is expired, you'll have to cover it all. With an Endurance Auto Protection Plan, no matter what the mileage, if your car is under 20 years old, Endurance can get you covered on the engine, electrical system, transmission, drivetrain, and more. Endurance has plans for any budget. Repairs can be done by the certified mechanic of your choice. Plans cover 24/7 roadside assistance, towing, battery jumps, fuel deliveries, tire changes, and lockout services. Act now and get the benefits of our Elite Plan. A $2,000 value at no extra cost. With Endurance, you can never pay for covered auto repairs again. So call now for your free quote.
Call 800-290-8271. 800-290-8271. 800-290-8271.
This is Sirius XM Patriot, Channel 125. Solid as a rock, honest, truthful. This is the Sean Hannity Show.
25 to the top of the hour in news information with us. We're going to get from the state-run legacy media mob. Listen, if you find yourself making drugs every day, maybe after lunch, you fight the 3 p.m. crash, or maybe you're struggling with memory issues, especially later in the day, you have a hard time dialing in and focusing, or maybe just tired of
Yeah, it looks like most of it's going to just skirt us.
Stop what you're doing. Pay attention to what I'm about to tell you. A Strong Cell is a revolutionary supplement. It is a game changer. I take it every single day. Gives me more natural energy, helps me stay focused all day, and I just feel better overall. I mean, yesterday's a perfect example. I did this radio show, all the prep leading up to this radio show, worked out yesterday, did an hour and a half for Fox Nation, and then did the TV show, and I'm ready, raring to go, and full on energy all day long. And that it just works in my life, Linda. You're using it, works in your life too. And I can tell when you don't take it because you're not dialed in.
That's what I was just going to say about you. You know, you and me, we miss our
And you get
strong
cranky.
cell right away. Yep, cranky.
Cranky. So, make sure you take your Strong Cell every day. I might actually have to appoint somebody on the team to double check that you take it.
I have a whole box now sitting at my station. I'm not taking any chances.
At your station. She sits at her station.
I do.
Anyway,
It's a station. Well, it's a studio. You know, everybody's got a spot.
Your station. Strong Cell is American made. It's a natural product. They utilize a proprietary method to get NADH to the billions of the cells you have in your body. Go online, do yourself a favor, invest in your health. It'll change your life. Go to HannityStrong.com. Use the promo code Hannity when you check out. You get 20% off your order. That's HannityStrong.
Yeah, I can't click on things while I'm driving.
So believes in their product. They have a 60-day no-risk policy so you can stay strong with Strong Cell for your mind and your body. So it is getting obnoxious to the point I can't take it anymore. Joe Biden's cognitive decline was obvious to everybody. We were the first to go hard at it, and we were brutally attacked for at the time. Linda, you remember, it wasn't that long ago. This was before the 2020 election. And Joe Biden was not the same Joe Biden we had previously known. He was a cognitive mess from the get-go. And it got progressively worse and more obvious during the 4 years he was president, to the point you just never would hardly ever see or hear from him. And it was pathetic. One of his closest friends when he was a senator and vice president was Chris Coons of Delaware. And now everybody is being asked after the they call it, that stupid White House Correspondents' Dinner, where you have. Did you see the pictures of poor Humpty Dumpty on the train, and he took his shoes off and was walking around, and Amtrak specifically says you can't walk around with your shoes off?
Wait, on the train he did that? I didn't see that.
Oh yeah. Oh, you got to see the pictures. They're priceless.
God,
I'll
that's
send them to you.
gross.
I know. I was going to show it on TV last night. I'm like, nobody even knows. They called him Humpty Dumpty in the post. It was pretty funny. And this is a guy that just is obsessed with Fox 24/7. He's like a stalker. Anyway, but Chris Coons, claimed, it was only Biden's debate performance. That was the first time he'd seen any obvious cognitive decline. I call complete and total BS on all of them. They all saw it. They all were worried about it. They all lied and covered it up because they just didn't want Republicans to win, or Donald Trump specifically to win. That's what really happened. And anyone that says anything else, I just call complete BS on all of them. Here's Chris Coons.
Well, John, obviously, if I had any idea that President Biden was going to perform as poorly as he did at that debate, I would have been advising him differently and advocating differently. That debate performance was the first time I saw anything like that out of President Biden. He had been and was a strong and capable president, and he still had strong public performances, interviews, and just the next day went to North Carolina and spoke forcefully at a rally. But I was shocked. I was genuinely surprised by that performance that he center, and was wrestling with what it meant for our path forward.
Struggling with wrestling. Yeah.
What's up, Diogenes? Thanks, Eggsy.
Some of the political players and some of the. Let me ask you a quick question. No, anyways.
It was that bad. And it was that bad for years. It's amazing we survived this. And then you got little Chucky Todd, is, no longer at MSDNC, and I guess trying to create relevance. He's so angry at a right-wing manufactured claim that the media covered up Biden's decline. They did cover it up. They hid it. They didn't focus on it. If it was Donald Trump, they would have. Listen.
This is not a media failure. This is a failure of the Democratic Party. And I just sort of the virtue signaling that some people have done to try to say that the media missed this story. They didn't miss this story. David Ignatius wrote, I just refuse to accept this stupid premise because it's a right-wing manufactured right-wing premise in order to stay in the media. The media's got plenty of things to attack them for, and there are MSNBC and CNN and pundits that absolutely carried water for Joe Biden, but they're not journalists. They're former strategists that carried water for Joe Biden. The journalist, David Ignatius, wrote a very high-profile column in October of 23 saying, is he really running again? This doesn't seem like a good idea. People like me were promoting Dean Phillips' campaign because he was running. Wall Street Journal did a bunch of coverage. So, it's not like this. This isn't WMDs, where the White House worked with the mainstream media to manufacture a story that did not exist. That was a press failure. Massive press failure. This was not that failure. This is an attempt by some to virtue signal, and it's this horrible sort of pitting different news organizations against each other, when ultimately the people at fault are Chuck Schumer, Nancy Pelosi, Jill Biden, Joe Biden, Kamala Harris,
Hey,
every
Matt.
member of Congress.
By the way, he's no Tim Rusher. That's why he's gone. This isn't. It's pretty pathetic. 800-941-SEAN is the number if you want to be a part of the program. All right, let's get to our busy phones as we say hi to Ted in Arizona. Ted, hi, how are you? Glad you called.
Sean, king of the world, man.
No, I'm not the king of anything. I'm the king of my own mind. What's going on? There's only one king. That's Jesus, not me.
I know. And he is the savior.
Amen. What's going on?
They've got to stop the deportations. Please stop the deportations. I'm losing my businesses up here in the north. Bernie and I cannot make it happen. We're losing our employees.
Oh, so you want the cheap labor and you don't really care if these unvetted Biden-Harris illegals have, terror associations or cartel members or gang members or murderers or rapists. We don't know anything about them. You want the cheap labor. I know you're being facetious.
It's evading taxes. I don't have to pay taxes on them. I don't have to. Please stop the deportations.
So you want it for your own benefit. There is some truth to what you're saying. There are people, and Republicans too, that have always wanted cheap labor. And I get it. I understand you want to lower your costs as much as possible. Now, look, I in a sense, I run my own business. And one of the things that I have never practiced, I've never really engaged in is not paying people what a decent, well-earned wage. And I expect a lot from people that I hire. I just do. If you work in this industry, if you work on my radio show or TV show, you've got to be ready to roll up your sleeves and get to work every day. And I try to, be nice to people and give them the latitude that they need to do the things that are important to them. And, I learned what people's strengths and weaknesses are. And, as long as the job gets done, I try to be as hands-off as possible. For those people that, if you do
Gear grinding. Yeah, they tried to get me to do all these different fluids and stuff like that when I just went in there. And that was like another $2,000 fucking dollars. Are you fucking kidding me? They told me I need a new catalytic converter. That's $1,800 plus labor.
That's it. It's not that much to ask. Appreciate the call, Ted.
They can fuck off.
Let's say hi to Michael, Texas. God bless Texas, Michael. How are you?
Just fine. Thank you for letting me get my voice out there on this immigration policy. Here in Texas, I don't know if it's still on the books because I don't have access to a law library, just the online stuff that you read. But we have a law here that makes it illegal to hire, rent to, or give any kind of aid. Tell somebody where to get.
That looks nasty up there.
If you're illegal.
All right.
Now, if we took
it's like it's coming down.
Made that a national law and find the owners of the companies that are hiring them, say $5,000 per person, the people that are renting to them,
Piggy here.
$5,000 per person, they would let these people go. The people would not have any reason to stay here. Self-support without taxpayer money funding it. Now that's pure and simple. I don't know why.
Wow, he lost his whole tarp.
Governor Gregg hasn't enforced this law, but we have a lot, and it is both sides of the aisle, Democrat and Republicans. They both own ranches and farms down here, and they all use illegals. Now, I'm speaking as a retired 45-year construction worker, and every time a president gave amnesty to all of these millions of illegals down through the years, guess what? I was out of a job. And it got so bad that I couldn't get a job non-union, so I joined the union. And I really didn't want to because I'm not a socialist, I'm not a communist, but I needed a job. And that was the only place that I could get a job. Now, if we get rid of all of these illegals, yes, it's going to hurt some restaurants and some packing industries for a little while. It'll force them to raise their wages up to something that somebody can actually live on and solve the problem without our taxpayer money.
Listen, I'm just going to tell you right now, it's very, very simple. First, we do it for national safety and security. Second, if you don't have borders, you don't have a country. Third, we are a nation governed by the rule of law. And if you want to come into our country, I really have no problem with it. I think we need a background check, knowing that there are enemies of our country that would like to commit violent acts against Americans and acts of terrorism against our country. Then, after in a post-COVID world, I would say we absolutely, positively need some type of health check, and then we've got to means test people. You cannot be a financial burden on the American people. And the amount of money that we're spending, billions of dollars, for example, on healthcare. And then you've got the impact it's having on the educational system.
Here we go, driving into it.
And then worse, that you have people unvetted in the country that are capable of committing, rape, murder, and other violent crimes.
Oh,
So we've got to get control of it.
I've had to deal with them going to the laundromat, put my laundry in to dry, and go out and sit in my vehicle to read a book, go back in, and lo and behold, I'm instead of 5 pairs of pants I have in there, there's only 3 pairs. So,
Holy crap.
people coming from poor countries basically are all thieves of opportunity.
Yeah, it
They
is.
may not go out looking for it, but if the opportunity rises, they will take it.
Holy crap.
Take
Get over.
And like I say, I ended up having to join the union, and I ended up working at a union contractor who
Wow.
was actually using illegal labor. So if we pass the law and find the owners of the company, not anybody else, just the owners of the company, $5,000 per person, you will be Mexico or whatever.
Well, right now they have an opportunity that they've given them to look at that money, that they can self-support. And if they self-support, they've had a chance to come back to the country. If they don't self-support, they'll never have that chance again. And then when they are deported, it's over for them. Anyway, I have to run.
I can't forget.
800-941-SHOW. All right, there's a new scam targeting iPhone and Android users throughout the country as cybercriminals now are texting victims claiming they owe for unpaid tolls. Now, these texts often include links that impersonate state toll service names. If you receive a commission like this or anything you don't recognize, remember the FBI is encouraging you to delete it immediately and not click on any suspicious links ever.
Yeah, we're doing like 35 miles an hour here.
Cybercrime, identity theft are now impacting all of our lives, and lots of places can accidentally expose your personal information.
If anything happens to me, I'm on I-80 Turnpike heading east.
If you are a victim of identity theft, a dedicated U.S.-based restoration specialist will fix it, guaranteed for your money back. Now, it's simple. Protect your good name, not financial, your reputation. And if you join now, you save up to 40% off your first year. Go to LifeLock.com or call 1-800-LifeLock. Use the promo code Henry. That's 1-800-LifeLock, LifeLock.com, promo code Henry for 40% off. Quick break, right back with that.
Okay, we can finally see a little bit now. Finally see a little bit. Oh, look at the rainbow. A wide one. I hope you guys can see it. To the left there. Ah, that's pretty. Get your clips in here. Let me stop the wipers for a second. Well, that's sharp. Let's see how far into the stream. 30 minutes. All right. Ooh, that was a bit of a butt pucker for a minute. I was using the trucks as like shields. I had one in front of me and one to my right. It was blasting from the right. Oh, wow. It's full arc. Got a couple of pictures from my other phone. This guy's an idiot here.
Newsmax share. Call your advisor or get more info at newsmaxinvest.com. Stand with Newsmax today for a strong America. This communication is for informational purposes only and shall not be intended to or shall not constitute any offer to buy or sell securities, nor shall there be any sale of securities in any jurisdiction in which such offer, solicitation, or sale would be unlawful. This is Sirius XM Patriot, Channel 125.
If you think about it, Eggsy, download that Poker Stars app onto your laptop. I'm going to start doing those poker games more and more often. It's free. This is for We Play for Fun. I don't know if you play poker or not. I used to do poker streams all the time.
What does the future hold for business? Ask 9 experts and you'll get 10 answers. It's the bull market, It's a bear market. Rates will rise or fall. Inflation's up or down. Can someone invent a crystal ball? Until then, over 41,000 businesses have future-proofed their business with NetSuite by Oracle, the #1 cloud ERP, bringing accounting, financial management, inventory, and HR into one fluid platform. With one unified business management suite, there's one source of truth, giving you the visibility and control you need to make quick decisions. With real-time insights and forecasting, you're peering into the future with actionable data. When you're closing the books in days, not weeks, you're spending less time looking backwards and
Waiting for my
what's next.
the podcast I always watch to come out in a minute. Comes out at 6 o'clock. Ooh, man, my ingrown toenails bother me. I got a doctor appointment in the morning. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we're doing about 10 under the speed limit here. I'll let these assholes fly by me all they want. I know when the truck drivers are going slow and they have their hazards on, that it's probably not a good idea to be flying. Lancer. That was a nice little cell there we drove through. Shit was coming down hard. Look at this idiot. The right lane. Not all truck drivers are the same. Fucking Ontario, of course. Fucking Canadian. Trying to get over, dude? Here, I'll back up a little bit for you. Those of you who have accounts, please jump over to the Rumble page real quick. Give it a like.
And here's what we've got over here from C-SPAN. Trump making his way to the podium. Look at the crowd, baby. And you'll notice how conveniently this was timed. We appreciate the president for scheduling this during our showtime, regular showtime. We do have some other stuff to get to, but of course, this is live. So we'll go on to President Goes. We'll celebrate together, and then we'll round it out with a couple of short stories, time provided. Now, quick note, my friends. So, scheduling note. Tomorrow and Thursday, we're going to do one stream a day rather than the two streams that go in the regular stream. So we'll be back tomorrow, one stream in the morning, 12 noon Eastern, and then on Thursday, we're back at the regular time. We've always got to make a trip down to the valley. And so that's where I will be. But we'll be back tomorrow, so a short time from now, 12 noon Eastern time, so 9 a.m. my time tomorrow, and then Thursday, regular time for the show. So just a little bit of a housekeeping update there while we're waiting for the president to take the podium. So looking good. All right, let's check back in.
I don't think he really cares. Neither one of the candidates
Turn that flag up around there.
wanted to be very cooperative with him. So
Turn that right side up.
I think Pulliver shot himself in the foot by mouthing off.
There we go. There we go.
Thank you very much. Hello, Michigan. Hello, we love you, Michigan.
Hello, Mr. President. Great to see you.
We just had the biggest victory in Michigan. They said, sir, it's going to be hard. Well, we won it twice. We won it 3 times. But I'm thrilled to be back in this beautiful state. I love this state. Been a lot of auto jobs coming. What's happening? The companies are coming in by the tens. You got to see what's happening. They all want to come back to Michigan and build cars again. You know why? Because of our tax and tariff policy. They're coming from all over the
It's
world.
rowdy there.
They're opening up plants. They're talking to us all day and all night. They want to get here. They're coming in at levels you've never seen before. And I want to thank the auto workers for your support. That was great.
Here's what the cables look like.
But I'm thrilled to be back in this beautiful state with thousands of proud and hardworking American patriots. And we're here tonight in the heartland of our nation to celebrate the most successful first 100 days of any administration in the history of our country. And that's according to many, many people.
In the history of the galaxy.
This is the best, they say, 100-day start of any president in history, and everyone is saying it. We've just gotten started. You haven't even seen anything yet. It's all just beginning. And week by week, we're ending illegal immigration. We're taking back our jobs and protecting our great American auto workers and all of our workers. Frankly, we're protecting all of our workers.
Thanks, Exy. I appreciate it.
The rule of law, which we said sort of out the window with this crazy guy we have. How the hell did that guy ever become president? Could somebody explain? How the hell did that happen? There's my friend, Blacks for Trump. I like that guy, but he follows me. He follows me. We love you. Your whole group is
Nebraska commercial truck.
I want to thank you. Everyone thinks I pay you a fortune. I don't even know who the hell he is. I just like him. So, thank you very much. Thank all of them. Thanks them all. But we're ending the inflation nightmare, the worst that we've had probably in the history of our country, getting lunacy and transgender insanity the hell out of our government. Get it out of here! We're stopping the indoctrination of our children, slashing billions and billions of dollars of waste, fraud, and abuse. And above all, we're saving the American dream. We're making America great again, and it's happening fast, too. What the world has witnessed in the past 14 weeks is a revolution of common sense. That's all it is, really. We're conservative.
Yeah. Common sense.
You're conservative, you're liberal, whatever the hell. You know what it's all about? It's about common sense when you think about it. We're for common sense. We like strong borders. We like good education. We like low education.
Oh yeah, I know. I paid close attention to that.
And now,
Some of my earliest streams got taken down because of my coverage of that. But that was when we were strictly on the tubes.
we want a strong military. We want low taxes. You know, the Democrats, they campaign on, we will raise your taxes. It's the first time, you know, I haven't been doing this that long. Actually, compared to a lot of people, they've been doing it for a long time. They say, you became president. I can't get out of Congress, and some of them can't even get into Congress. But you know, I haven't been doing it that long, but all my life I've been watching, and I've never heard people campaigning that they're going to raise taxes. It's always been, we will reduce your taxes, Democrat, Republican. Now they go, we're going to raise your taxes. If our bill doesn't pass, the Republicans, we have 100% just about Republican support, but it would be nice if we had just a couple of Democrats just to make sure, because, you know, every once in a while you have a grandstander Republican. We have some grandstanders, but every once in a while, not many.
Not open yet. It's getting close. The gas prices aren't up yet, so look at Sheets, always open, but not yet. It's looking pretty good. It's all lit up inside. It's getting close.
You know what the answer is? If you don't get it, you're going to have the highest tax increase in history instead of the greatest tax cut in history. If the Democrats prevail on this bill, you get a 58% tax increase. Would you like that?
No.
You said the Democrats.
No.
But I've never seen all the years they campaign, we will raise your taxes. I say, oh, this country's gone crazy. And today they did it again. Some guy that I never heard of. John James, is he a congressman, this guy? He said, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to start the impeachment of Donald Trump. What the hell did I do? Here we go again. They want to impeach me. This lunatic.
He is.
Sweet. This lunatic used up. Actually, I had the television way down, and I said to our great First Lady, listen, did I just hear I was being impeached again? We're getting good at this now. They've gotten totally crazy. These people, and you know what? They've totally lost their confidence. They can't even tell a lunatic like this dumb guy that said it. Then you have the other one that's always with the cane. He's always impeaching. He raises his cane. He always impeaches. But they have no control over those people. They have no control, and the reason is they've lost their confidence. They have no confidence anymore. They have no candidates. And you know, when they say that Bernie's probably the best they have. By the way, he's about 7 years older than me, more 8 years old. One thing I got to give him credit, he's a lunatic, but he's still pretty sharp.
Yeah, he keeps going.
And he's going around with AOC +3, you know, the +3 follower.
Squad.
They hang on for little bits. They hang on for nuggets. And they get crowds. They say, our crowds are so much bigger than their crowds.
Yeah, Selfridge Air Force Base. That's actually where I was going to go up and do some shopping pretty soon. It's probably the closest active base around.
We're taking back our country from.
I mean, besides the little air base by my house, but that's tiny.
Selling America out and bleeding America dry. We don't let that happen anymore. And we had 4 great years. We had the greatest economy in the history of our country. The stock market went up 88%. We did great. And we're going to do better now. Now we're really learned a little bit. After years of leaders.
Yeah, it's the closest one with a full-size PX and stuff.
Just in foreign nations. That's what we did. We'd fight for other nations, but not for ourselves. You finally have a president who is defending our borders and our nation.
Thank you, Mr. President. Happened quickly, too.
After decades of politicians who destroyed Detroit to build up Beijing, you finally have a champion for workers in the White House, and instead of putting China first, I'm putting Michigan first, and I'm putting America first.
Thank you, Mr. President. Here's the cables. MSNBC talking over him.
After a lifetime of unelected bureaucrats stealing your paychecks, attacking your values, and trampling your freedoms, we're stopping their gravy train and power trip and telling thousands of corrupt, incompetent, and unnecessary deep state bureaucrats, you're fired. Get the hell out of here.
Get out of here. Get out.
In 100 days, we have delivered the most profound change in Washington in nearly 100 years. I read an editorial today that this is the most consequential presidency in history. How about that? And it wasn't even by a group that would normally be supporting us. There's a group of people that I think they tend to be on the liberal side, but they said it's the most important election. November 5th, it changed it all. You have to see when you hear some of these numbers, but that is the most consequential election that we've ever had in our country. And what a nice thing. I'm going to start again subscribing to that particular paper. Even if I don't read it much, I'm going to subscribe. But it was a very nice compliment, especially from them. They know who we're talking about. We're ushering out the long reign of special interests and the radical left lunatics, and we're ushering in the golden age of America. That's what we. Let's go. Let's go. Right? Front row Joe. Look at you, front row Joes. I miss you guys. I miss the campaign. You haven't changed. You've lost a couple of pounds. Always probably getting to one of those shippers. You've lost a couple of pounds. And I have Mr. Wall here. This guy. How many rallies have you gone to? Like hundreds, and we love him here. The Wall. One day I'm gonna get that suit and I'm gonna wear it on the suit. Big suit. Big suit. We appreciate it, fellas. What's up, big suit? You know, we have a group of ladies, I don't know if they're here, but we have a group of women in North Carolina, a large group, like 50, the most beautiful women, and they've been to 129 rallies. They're happily married, I think, too. They just keep going to rallies all the time. But they're great. North Carolina, where we won by big numbers. Nowhere has this transformation been more dramatic than our southern border. You have seen the change with your southern border that Sleepy Joe said couldn't happen. Sleepy Joe, the worst president in history, said it couldn't happen. The last administration engineered a massive invasion, allowing gangs, cartels, and terrorists to infiltrate our communities and rape and murder our citizens. And that is being nice about it.
Go.
It's actually being nice about it.
Fucking win, man.
The worst. I'm standing before you today, I can proudly.
Oops.
Fast. They got that done.
For 2 months in a row, we have now set all-time records, and this is by the media, the fake news media, which most of it is fake. We've set all-time records for the lowest number of illegal border crossings ever recorded. Think of that, ever recorded. The number of illegal border crossers released into the United States is down, listen to this phrase, 99.999%. Oh, Mr. President! Think of that, 99.999.
It is crazy. Just enforcement. Just enforcement.
Nine.
Three.
Out.
And I got angry as hell at Tom Holman. How did you allow three? I called up Christy. Christy Gnome's doing a great job, Tom Holman.
That'll happen
I
here.
said, how did you allow 3 people? Well, they allowed a few, and for medical reasons, they honestly had a couple of were very sick. The ones that got in were really very sick, and we had to take care of them, but it was a few people. But 3 people got in versus hundreds of thousands in the last administration. Hundreds of thousands a month were pouring in. Biden had no control. Amazing. Thank goodness he appointed a great border czar, right? Kamala. Kamala, she was a great candidate. She was fantastic. Joe Biden was down 35 points. The debate was not a good one for him. No. He said, you know, if I didn't debate, I could have gone all the way. He was down 35. They decided to place him. That never, nothing ever happens. Like what happens to me, it never happens.
It was
to
crazy.
anybody else.
Yeah, it's true.
I had to beat 2 candidates. So he's down. This is like you're in a fight. Dana White, the UFC, you're in a fight and you and I borders are. The great people, all of the great people, Paul and all of the border patrol people, they never spoke to her. They never heard about her. For 4 years, she never called. But there's never been such a difference in anything as the difference between the border today and the border what it was just 6 months ago. So I want to say congratulations, America. It's about time.
Yes, thank you, Mr. President. And Trump administration.
If we had not won the 2024 election, oh, does that sound good, right? We won the 2024 The radical left Democrats would right now be importing the next 10 million invaders and giving amnesty to 30 or 40 million illegals. Many of them criminals, many of them, frankly, murderers and people of crime at the absolute highest level. Real bad people. It would only be a matter of years or months until America itself became a failed third world nation. That was happening to us. We're going to be a third world nation. I'll tell you what, if these guys won and this group of radical lunatics, and by the way, Biden, we find out that whoever operated the auto pen was the real president, and Biden knew nothing about it. You know, he was a group of radical left guys who were very smart, and a woman, a particular woman. Very, very smart people. These are not stupid people. These are sick people, but they're not stupid people. And they were very smart. What they're best at is cheating at election. They cheat on elections. That's their single greatest trait. They cheat like hell. And let me tell you, they tried to cheat on this election, but we made it too big to rig. Remember? Too big to rig.
Heck yeah, we did. We voted hard.
I watched those numbers. We had Elon with us. Elon is a smart. Elon Musk. And I was sitting with Dana White, Elon Musk, and I'm watching the numbers in Pennsylvania, and we're winning so easily. Then all of a sudden, it flatlined.
Thanks, XZ. I'm hoping so too.
I said, I think they're cheating again. Look at this. What's going on? I think they're cheating again. And Elon looked at us. He goes, no. You're going to win. They just don't know it yet. And about 15 minutes later, we won. Sort of crazy. I'll never forget. You're going to win. They just don't know it yet. But you know what? We made it too big to ring. It was too big. Starting on day one, I deployed the U.S. military to defend our country from the invasion of our border. I shut down all migrant flights. Do you remember? When we're talking about people coming in, they're trying to deny it. Okay, so people are flowing in. They say, no, I don't see any people. It's like, what's wrong? But then we saw airplanes going overhead. We said, what the hell are those airplanes doing? Big Boeing 757s were traveling right overhead, loaded up with people.
Yeah,
really. They say, where the hell are those planes going? They were loaded up with migrants coming in illegally, flying in by plane, paid for by the U.S. government. I'll tell you, they are sick. Remember that day? That was the day we found out that not only do we have to defend it here, we have to defend it not only in the water, but we have to defend it there. The planes were going over us. I said, what the hell is that? I banned all welfare to illegals, and I signed an order that will end automatic citizenship for the children of illegal aliens.
You read those here.
Later, brother. I'm probably going to log off now, too. It gets bad when I get close. I'll check you guys later. I'll probably be on the backup channel on the way home.
He didn't know what the hell anybody was talking about. He said it was